I wanted to talk about the summer project I've been working on. So when you have motors and cars or robots you want to control remotely, you have, for example, things like this where you can adjust the speed and maybe direction. This is a direct RF connection. This is an example of controller for a skateboard, with speed and braking, and then a few different functions on battery and so forth. Of course, you can also use a controller like this one with a whole bunch of buttons and joysticks, triggers and so forth. But I wanted to take a look at this little guy here. This is a Samsung virtual reality remote controller. It has a few buttons, right? It's a touchpad and it has a trigger. And so this device connects through Bluetooth to a Raspberry Pi or any kind of device that has Bluetooth on it. It's a proprietary protocol, so you need to figure out how to read this out through Bluetooth. And then it does something like this here. Right, these are all the data points that I'm getting for the device. I compute which buttons have been pushed, and it has accelerometer, gyroscope, magnetometer, so that I can actually figure out what the orientation of the device is, and then I make this available to other computer over the network. So in this case here, the device is pointing north, right? And so if I turn this around, it moves to a different connection. If I touch this button here, you could see the touchpad. If I push buttons, right, it highlights these buttons. And on the back here, if I push the trigger, you can also see the trigger button being pushed. This whole thing is rendered in opengl graphic language and uses pyqt Python programs on my desktop.